Day 7 of Vlogmas. It is the 13th of December. Been a bit of a stressful morning and last night. Just some family stuff. Family members are not very well. So just kind of waiting on news of stuff, and I'm sure everybody knows what it's like when you're waiting for news to see how somebody is. It can be a little bit stressful. So that's kind of been my morning so far, or today so far. But I've decided to keep myself busy now. I've kind of had a little bit of an update. I've been gathering fabrics together for my Christmas project bags. I think I'm going to bring my sewing machine down into here. I have a big desk in the corner which I need to clear off, and sew down here because it's warmer than upstairs. And it also means if it's a bit too cold, I can put the wood burning stove on in here as well, and I'll just cut fabric upstairs on the big table and then bring it down here. It also means I can set up an ironing board in here, whereas it's a bit difficult upstairs with the really steep sloping ceiling to have space to set up an ironing board as well as a sewing machine and a big table and everything. So I went rummaging in my stash for other fabrics to go with my new fabrics for these Christmassy project bags. So apologies if I sound very hoarse and croaky today. I have a bit of a cold. I've had a cold for a few days now. John passed on his cold to me. He's had a head cold for about a week, and he has passed on to me, and my throat is a little hoarse. So apologies for sounding like Kathleen Turner today. So one of the fabrics is this blue fabric. Again, the light's really strange in here, but it's this blue fabric with gingerbread cookies on it. This is a poly cotton and a matching brown poly cotton. So what I plan to do is make project bags with two fabrics on the outside, so it has a bottom fabric that comes part way up, similar to what I did with this project bag. Well, I did a few of these project bags in fabrics, kind of gothy, witchy fabrics. I'm getting clawed by a holly cat who's lying beside me. So you can see the bottom of the bag is a semi-solid black and covered in yarn fuzz, which comes part way up the sides as well. It has a box bottom and just a simple top. Well, I don't like a box top. Holly, you're clawing my cardigan. A box top on the top of a project bag, and I want to make some this size. This is perfect sweater size for me. It's not too bulky. You can't get a sweater in once it gets to almost finished, but that's fine, because when it gets to the point where it's almost finished, it's basically just living beside me on the sofa in any case. So this will hold a sweater up to a fingering weight sweater up to the point of doing the sleeves and waiting for finishing parts, so I can get a whole sweater quantity and the sweater in that size. So to go with this fabric, I went rummaging upstairs in my, I wouldn't say it's scrap yarn, some of it's scrap yarn fabrics, not yarns, but I have a lot of fabrics either left over from previous projects or I've just acquired over the years, like old bedding or from the charity shop or passed down from my mum, things like that. Mum has quite a large fabric stash too, actually. So I did find some pale blue. It looks very white on camera, and the camera is casting a shadow, so I do apologise. If I just turn you slightly that way. It is pale blue, and I think that'll work really well just for the liner for this fabric. I could have used some for the brown, but if I don't like using a dark fabric for the interior of a project bag because I will lose things like stitch markers in there. So that's for that fabric, and I will make, I don't know how many to make. I bought a metre of each of these fabrics because that's what they came in. You couldn't buy a fat quarter or a half yard or any of those such measurements. They're bought in metres, so I have quite a lot. So maybe a sweater quantity bag and a smaller project bag, like for socks or something like that. We'll see. And for the fabric with the robins on, there's this fabric here, I have a couple of options. So for the bottom contrast fabrics, I didn't buy any contrast fabric for that. I have some of this fabric. I have a couple of scraps of this, of this green. It's a, I'm not sure if it's like a chintz or a sateen, not a sateen, it's like a cotton sheen fabric. I'm not sure what this is called. I bought this for my wedding dress. It creases badly, really badly. I'm not a sewist as such, and I make things with my sewing machine, because I know how to use a sewing machine, rather than because I can sew particularly well. Holly is finally stirred. Can you say hello? She has a little white moustache. I don't know if you've seen it before, but she has a little white moustache. And she's a very loungy, fluffy, loungy cat. So I have some of this, and I think that could work quite well for the contrast fabric for the bottom. Otherwise I'll just use the fabric on its own, because again I have a whole metre of this. The other option is to use some of the the notorious sparkly green, whoops, fabric, but I'm not sure. I think I'm going to stick with the plain green rather than the sparkle. I think I might wash this fabric and see how it comes out after it's been through the washing machine, because it does smell very strongly of wallpaper paste, and I don't know if the glitter is going to come off in the wash, and I don't know whether the glue is going to disappear in the wash and all the glitter is going to go, or I don't know, and it might lose its stiffness a bit. So there is hope for this yet. So I'm thinking green contrast, and then for the lining I have some of this faded red fabric. These were some curtains I made years ago, and at one point I dyed them. They were plain, just plain cotton. I don't think they're not calico, they're just plain cotton, and at one point I dyed them red. But the Dylon dyes don't have a lot of choice in colours compared to the RIT dyes, and the red is a, I think it's called tulip red. It's not really a rich red, it's this like lighter red, because at one point I had my bedroom painted red. I do love a red bedroom, they're very cosy. I don't know what that says about me. Our bedroom is currently cream, which is kind of boring. We're just painting it cream at the moment. But it's going to be quite restful. But I did enjoy having a red cosy bedroom. In fact, I painted the next bedroom that I had red as well. But this is what I have left over. I've used pieces of this for other things. In fact, I think I've used some of this for, have I used this for a project bag? I'm not sure, but I have used this for other craft projects before. So I think this will work well for the liner, because I don't have much of the green, but I have quite a lot of this. So the green is good for just that little bit on the bottom and slightly up the sides. Just a moment. Holly, are you going to come off of there? I have, oops, you're all squint now. I have my how shall I put this politely on video? I've got to think YouTube. upper lingerie items just airing off on the radiator, and Holly decided she was going to use it as a bed to warm her feet, so I've just had to move those. These are the things you deal with when you have cats that clamber everywhere. They're not too bad, but they do like to clamber. So that is my plan for the first sewing project I want to do. Like I said on another day, this is turning into a really long video, I am sorry, that I have a couple of other sewing projects to do as well, but this is the one I want to get started on to just kind of get me into the flow of sewing. I don't think I'll get any sewing started today, but I can do the prep work. I need to clear off my desk, I need to bring my sewing machine down. I'm not going to put interfacing. These bags haven't got interfacing. The large one that I did put interfacing on before in the past, I actually ripped it off because I didn't like it. One of the small ones I made for Mum a couple of years ago, I noticed when I was there that it has interfacing, but it's a small, like a shawl or a sock bag, and I think it works quite well. In fact, I think that one has a box top on it as well as a box bottom. But for something like this, I want to be able to squash it down easily and not worry about the sides looking strange if they get scrumpled with the interfacing in them. So that is the plan for the next couple of hours. Get myself prepped, get my fabrics cut, figure out some measurements and so on, and just try to keep myself a little busy. Yet again, it is really dark in here, but I don't know which is worse, having all the lamps on and it being a bit dark, or having the big light on it and it looking really stark. So I've finished the rib on my cardigan. I've just finished knitting and casting it off, so this is ready for steeking, which is obviously going to wait till tomorrow because I'm very tired now and it is getting late. So yes, I've done quite a deep rib on it, not like super deep, but it's about maybe a little short of 3 inches, and I have a little bit of yarn in both colours left. I have this much left in each, so that should be plenty to make a I don't know if I have enough to do in one yarn or 2 tones. I need to weigh how much I have left. So this is just ready for steeking and button bands, and then weaving in ends, and we're done. Maybe I'll weave in some ends on this tonight actually, because I've finished casting it off. I was just going to weave in the ends on all of these Christmas socks, not the blue ones because I've already done those, but all the green ones. So I might weave in the ends on those and weave in the ends on this tonight whilst watching TV. And then if I run out of ends to weave, I have my socks to work on. So I'm going to leave you, oh, we've gone dark again. I'm going to leave you here for today. It's been quite a chatty one. I think that's just the way that's worked out today. So I shall see you on the next video. Bye bye.